The following is an ESG video brief.
One trend that is taking the IT world by storm is cloud-based services. Moving from on-premise servers to cloud-based services for production tasks like email, file collab, CRM, and for data protection. Cost control is one reason that the cloud has such great appeal. ESG research shows that cost containment is a top driver for IT strategic decisions overall, and when ESG asked respondents how their IT organizations intended to reduce cost, increased use of cloud services was a frequently mentioned reply. Even more common was their response that organizations would invest in new technologies that deliver better ROI, which in many cases points again to the use of cloud services. ESG also conducted research on actual intended usage scenarios for IT organizations that are looking at cloud infrastructure services. Data backup and archiving and disaster recovery were two of the top 3 responses by those organizations surveyed. But remember, it isn't just secondary use cases like backup that are going to the cloud. For many organizations, a hybrid architecture where production workloads are moving to SaaS solutions like Salesforce, Google Apps, and Office 365. Historically, the backup admin chose and operated the data protection solution of choice. But today we're seeing a lot more decentralization where the workload owners, those folks that understand the application and are responsible for its usability by the organization, they want to or need to be part of defining its data protection strategy. That doesn't mean that the backup admin's role goes away, but it does mean that those data protection experts need to collaborate with the workload owners. So let's put those two IT trends together and talk about how do you protect software as a service. This is a big topic because the very ugly reality is that most backup solutions cannot protect SaaS. So when you go there, you lose whatever legacy solution for protecting your on-premise servers as part of that migration plan, which may not be a bad thing. Here are a few key things for backup administrators out there. Number 1, corporate data must be protected, regardless of whether it lives on-site, in a laptop, or in the cloud. This is data that the organization relies on, so its protection must be ensured. Number 2, most legacy data protection solutions cannot back up SaaS data. In much the same way that physical server backup solutions were late to the game in being able to protect virtual machines, most legacy backup solutions built for data center use are late in offering protection for SaaS workloads. And third, the best place to protect most cloud-native data is to another cloud, because any secondary data will be relatively unusable until it's restored back to the first cloud anyway. And oh, by the way, the production SaaS provider and your backup as service provider likely both have better bandwidth for backups and restores than you do. But since we're talking about a partnership, there's a few things the SaaS administrators also need to understand because you're responsible for your platform and its usability. It's almost a guarantee that backup is not part of your SaaS solution. Any protection mechanisms in use are really there to ensure that the provider meets their SLA obligations, and those mechanisms won't protect you. Not from administrative mistakes, not for bad or deleted data that was entered in the system. Now, in full disclosure, some may charge an inordinate amount for even a rudimentary or ad hoc recoveries. As an example, Salesforce has a one-time recovery that starts at $10,000 US and doesn't even come with a service level agreement. Call your SaaS vendor to confirm this very ugly reality. By the way, that includes all the really big guys, which is reality number 2. Salesforce.com, Google Apps, and Office 365 all fall into the you must protect yourself category, period. Your IT team's backup specialist probably already works with his or her peers that work with on-premise databases, that work with virtualization hosts, or storage platforms. And in all cases, those other admins, just like you, want some level of control and insight into the ensured recovery of the platform that you're working with. The backup admin needs to make sure that all the data across the organization gets protected, so please, collaborate with them. Collectively, the backup admin and the SaaS admin each have some work to do to ensure that both of them achieve what they need to. Here are just a few simple questions that you two should be thinking about together. Can your existing backup solution protect SaaS at all? I know that seems like a simple yes/no question, but the answer that you find will shrink down your list of options quite a bit. Not only do SaaS providers not offer backup recovery services themselves, most haven't even published the APIs to allow third-party backup solutions to get to the data. There's really very few backup software vendors and those who intentionally innovate early that can gain access to the data at all. The rest of the backup solutions in the market, including maybe yours, cannot back up SaaS. Who will be managing the protection and the restores? How long should you keep the data? Where will the data actually be stored? Will your data be secure, in flight and at rest? Will your data be there when you need it? There's some important business aspects that come out of each of those questions, but I hope this gets you started in considering how are you going to protect the data that you're moving to the cloud, because your SaaS data needs to be protected and is not going to protect itself. I hope this was helpful. This is Jason Buffington for ESG. Thanks for watching.